Hey there, welcome to the Awesome Life podcast. And for those who don't know me already, I'm a reformed people pleaser, self-doubter, turned mindset mentor, and Awesome Life podcast host. And as the founder and the creator of the Awesome Life Success System and the Heart Energy Techniques for Entrepreneurial Leaders, where we eliminate the self-doubt and increase self-confidence and create a path to confidently having and enjoying a six-figure lifestyle business, working less, enjoying more, more focus, more fun, and more freedom, without any funnels, ads, or even a website for that matter. And here on the Awesome Life podcast, my guests and I share tips, inspiration, and resources for you to achieve your awesome life, however you define it and whatever it means for you. That is totally and uniquely yours. And today, my guest is an amazing lady. I love her. We met not too long ago, and we are right in sync as far as enjoying an awesome life. So of course I had to have her be able to share her wisdom and her resources and her inspiration with you. Her name is Susan Lasar Hart, and she is a transformational mindset coach, mentor, and a motivational speaker who has helped thousands creatives around the world find harmony in the inevitability of change. The only constant in life is change. So it's wonderful if we can find that harmony, right, Susan? Her expertise in smoothly navigating change draws from her own struggles with heavy metal poisoning, which dampened her vibrant spirit and sparked her studies in homeopathy, body awareness, and quantum physics. Combining these and other modalities, Susan established the Congruent Life Method as a guide to recognize limiting beliefs, build a powerful mindset, and confidently call in abundance. Her newest book, Breaking Free, Your Unique Path to Fearless Living, empowers her readers to create lives they genuinely love. And yes, welcome, Susan. I love this. I love this. And before we go much further, I'm not sure if your book showed up there, but I want to make sure that everybody sees that wonderful cover of that book, Breaking Free.
Thank you. Thanks,
So,
Karen, and thanks for having me. I love Awesome Life. Like that's what first attracted me to you right off the bat. I'm like, yes, loving those energies of awesomeness in life because we are here. We came here to make a difference. We came here to breathe in that awesomeness. So thank you for what you do in the world in having this podcast.
well, thank you for being my amazing guest. There is a sympathetic, besides the fact we both live in New England. Well,
Kind of.
kind of,
Second home in New England. Yeah.
yeah, a second home in New England. So, Susan, though, tell me more. You had heavy metal poisoning. How did you discover that, and what indications did you have that something needed to shift?
Well, I was always involved in the creative world. I am involved in the creative world. We are creatives. That's who we be, right? Everything is shifting. We're curious. Discovery, that childlike discovery of ooh, what can I make with this? I've got some water and some sand and some this and some that. And, I'm going to taste it first and then I'm going to see what I can create with it. Well, that was me all along. And I always was told, you're so artistic. You're, the avenue for me in terms of education. When I think I was 16, 17, I went to Philadelphia College of Art. And then I had some, interruptions in my formal education and ended up, fast story, in my studio, raising 4 kids, masters in painting, working on 15-foot ladders on huge encaustic paintings, which have to do with Damar varnish, which have to do with mixing dry pigment, which had to do with all kinds of toxic chemicals. And in those days, you didn't have the knowledge we have now, and you also didn't have the kind of pigments that all come in one. So in terms of encaustic painting, you melted the beeswax, you melted the varnish, you mixed in the pigment, you remelted it again when you adhered it to a canvas or a ground. And so without realizing it, 30 years of just breathing all of that in, all of a sudden, I started to lose my hair, my eyelashes, my eyebrows. I didn't realize my autoimmune system was just being heavily attacked by all of these toxins. And of course, I'm an artist. I mean, I'm an artist. This is what we do. And so actually what happened was I went to a homeopath. First I went to a doctor and they checked my stool and they said, oh, you have heavy metal poisoning. And we can all do that. That's another discussion for another time. But and then I was working and I had blood tests, and when I worked with the medical community, I just wasn't happy with their response. And I said to myself, okay, you need to find an amazing homeopath. And what happens when you put something out to the universe and you're in flow? The next day, I see someone that I hadn't seen for 30 years. Our kids had been in preschool together. Hey, how's it going? What's happening? She goes, well, I have heavy metal poisoning. I said, me too. I said, what are you doing about it? She goes, I have this amazing homeopath, but she's really full. I said, can I have her number? I saw her the next day.
Wow.
And so what occurred for myself, and I don't know about the rest of your audience, when you're entrained at a very young age, you are this. Oh, you're so good at that. You don't open up your world to all the other things that you connect with. And you're given prizes, you're given awards, you're rewarded for keep doing that. And you make everybody happy. And there I was in bed. I had to close up my studio. And I had been in galleries and gathered by collectors in architectural magazines. There I was in bed saying, well, if I'm not a painter, who am I?
Yeah.
And
lost yourself.
I lost the persona that I had bought as
Yeah.
that's all I am.
Yeah.
And I used it to my advantage because people left me alone. Susan's a little weird. She's an artist. Right? Like, right? Because I'd always talked to trees. I'd always spent hours by myself in nature. I had always known, I've always talked with spirits. Right? I've always known there were angels guiding me, that I had protectors. And so people kind of was like, that's Susan. That's just Susan. So what I did was I started really investigating, okay, what is there about me that I haven't been willing to listen to? And so I did start investigating alternative ways of being with the body, mind, and soul. And that brought me to investigating the difference that we came here to be. And in this homeopath was amazing. Not only did she introduce me to a whole different world, but she also said, why would you want to get, the medical community said, oh, use chelation, we can get rid of this in 6 months. And my homeopath said, it took you 30 years to get here. Do you think your body really wants to boom, crush it all out? Or do you want to take time to really listen to your body and see what it requires? And so actually my body told me, no alcohol, there was no sugars, no flesh, no gluten. And that was for about 3 years. And then all of a sudden I bumped into a friend of mine and we were just chatting. And I said, what's that you're drinking? And it was a beautiful, delicious red wine. And I was like, and my body's like, okay, we can have that now. So one of the things I did learn to do was not only listen to my soul, listen to my body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what body, how would you like to move today? Who would you like to play with today? What would you like to put on today? Because we're connected. We're not just a thing. And that's what congruent living is all about. It's being in congruency with body, mind, and soul, so that we're in what I call in flow with the universe.
I love that. I love that. It's so true. And that's similar with the awesome life, which you need to be aware and allow is the A to allow that to come in, but you have to have open up your mind and your heart and really listen. And that's where the wellness comes in, right? Is so that you can listen, because unless we are alive, mind, body, and soul, and it isn't all the time that we are, because as you say, change happens. It's hard to shift because we're really happy where we are, and then something happens and whoops. So do you have any tips on how to handle that when change happens, Susan?
Yeah, because we actually reach for change and nothing just happens. For
Mm.
myself, we actually reach for change. We get comfortable, and then there's something there that actually starts locking us up. And so we realize we're bumping up against something. So we reach for change. It could be something new, different to eat. It could be a different way of being with your, your connectiveness to your business, to your lover, to your partner, to your kids. We shift and change all the time. Everything is changing all the time. We're actually the only species on the planet that believes that we can stop change. Every animal in the kingdom, a mammal, whatever you want to call it, every entity in the kingdom of the universe knows change and goes with change. I mean, you have brown bears mating with white bears right now because they understand there's a shift going on.
Mm.
So with that in mind, for myself, it's about what I've learned, and when I work with my clients is, what questions can we ask here? Because it's only by being in the question of your life that we actually move into the changes we are asking for. And the other thing about change is everything's created twice. Once in here, in our minds, and the other is out here in this universe, in these quantum fields. And it's already there for us. So when we reach for change, it's because we already know it. It's possible. And so it's that connection of being in the question, what would this create for me? I wonder, to be in wonderment. I wonder, what is this all about? So if I'm not a painter, who am I? Well, I'm also a mom, a grandmother, a lover, an author, a writer, a speaker. It's what else? What would I love? What would I love? When I work with people, I say, go out 6 months, go out a year from now. What does that feel like? What would you love to see yourself doing and being? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? Because emotions, when we get, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about that so much, that's in the quantum field. The emotion is the energy that creates. It's electric. So tap into that. What does that feel like? Right? Bring that into right now. So for myself, as I got healthier and as I was investigating and following my own curiosity, I went back to university and got certified in coaching and counseling. I'm like, ooh, I want to know more about what makes us tick. And as I did that, I started investigating different fields of who we are. Not who we're told we are, but who we are. Now, all that, just curiosity creates change.
Yeah. If we allow it.
We can't stop change.
No, we can't.
Because even stopping change is a change.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also a choice, it's how we choose. Everything we do is a choice. I get a kick out of people who say, well, I had no choice. I had to do this. No, you had a choice. You didn't have to do. And I was taught that years and years and years ago. There was a fellow who came into my office and he said, Karen, and he was handicapped somehow, but very proud of himself and sure of himself. And it was wonderful to see. Anyway, he was a Vietnam veteran. And he said, I do not believe in fighting. I do not believe in the war. I did not believe in any of that. But I was drafted. And I said, well, yeah, so you had no choice. He said, Karen, we always have a choice. I could have gone to Canada. I
Yeah.
could have chosen never to see my family again. I could have chosen to be on the run all the time. I chose to go.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where we have that change. We do have it's happening whether we like it or not. So it is our choice as to how we handle that change. And how, how do we embrace that change when things just happen and it's so uncertain what is going to happen in the future? If we make this choice because this change is happening, what's going to happen to us? Is there something that we can look at or a question we can ask or something so we can better deal with that uncertainty?
Yeah. Thank you. What a great question. I would say get very present,
Mm.
because the media, everything around us wants to get involved in uncertainty. I mean, that's a great way to control a population, is to keep them scared, keep them uncertain, keep them believing that someone will have the answer.
Mm.
But the answer comes from inside. And so I would say get present without judgment. And how you start your day is how your day begins. So I would say begin with your day. Let the rest worry about itself. Are you starting your day with a commitment to you? Are you gifting yourself time to be with you at the start of your day? No matter what that looks like. Are you setting a commitment to honor your word to yourself? Are you doing the best you can in your day? And that doesn't mean for someone else. That means for you. So if you're feeling bummed out and you turn on Netflix, well, you're doing the best you can with the tools you have. Don't judge yourself. Honor yourself. And then ask yourself, what agreements have I made that are keeping me stuck? Because somewhere there's an agreement. It could be not to go beyond your raising. It could be not to outdo your mother, father, sister, brother. It could be to believe what somebody told you when you were very little, that you could never do that. So just be, in order to be with these questions, you've got to be present with you. It's not about multitasking. It's not about, I'll do that yet, I'll do that later. It's about just taking a moment and asking yourself, wow, so this actually isn't working for me. So what agreement did I make that's holding this in place?
Mm.
And just be present. Again, judgment-free zone, judgment-free zone. And then once I always say, get it out of your head and get it on paper. Pick up your journal, write it down, and then just be with that. No judgment. And I always ask, so how's that working for you?
Oh, good old Dr. Phil. How's that working for you?
How's that working for you?
Yeah, I
Then,
studied with his mentor as well.
right? And then, yeah, I mean, the glorious part about having lived as much life as you and I have, as we've had so much possibilities for so much learning to come through. And I would say, when you ask me how to deal with uncertainty, that's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is to be as clear and present as you can be with you, because that's where the voices come from. Right? We're an infinite spark that chose a body on this earth school for human experience. How can I be with me today? What's my best step I can take today? And is that a kindness? Is how I'm creating my life right now a kindness to me? Another great question to ask.
Oh, I love that question. To
Yeah.
me,
To me.
and so many women in particular are looking at outward. How can I be kind? I want to spread my love to everybody in the world, and this is who I am, is to give it all away, which is wonderful. But are we giving it to ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah. Kindness first to
Yeah,
yourself.
to
Because
yourself.
if it's not, the thing is, if we say, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I want to do this. Then ask yourself, is that being kind to you? Is how
Mhm.
you're creating your life, you're living your relationship with your children, with your business, with your boss, wherever you are in your life, is there kindness to you in there? And so, when people say, but I don't have time, but it is you first. Because the truth is, we're all connected. And if you're living your life and not feeling like it's kind to you, you're the ripple in the pond. So it's not really going to be kind to anyone else. Because with that comes blame, shame, regret. We know the stories. And you can feel the whole body contracting. And our bodies are made to breathe and move and dance and laugh and run. So that's a kindness to you, to listen to what's being asked of you. And then ask, oh, so is this kind to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this really is this how you would treat your best friend when they were in crisis?
Yeah.
And if not, don't do it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you say, be kind to you.
Yeah.
We cannot really, truly, honestly, in my personal opinion, and I'd love to hear yours as well,
Mm.
truly show kindness and love for somebody else if we do not have it for ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we see that. We see that in everything we be and do.
Mm.
When we do something with love, really listening to our spirit, our soul, whatever you want to call that, your God source, everybody has their own way of naming that. That's a kindness, that's a gentleness. There's strength in being gentle with yourself. And you then become the light for others to say, oh, I want what she has.
Yeah, yeah, it is comical, I've had many clients say, I just want your life. And I have a great life. You don't want my life. You
Yeah.
want your life
Yeah, exactly.
on your terms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can have everything I have. It is back to the choice and what are we willing to allow ourselves to be, do, and have.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, I was just going to say it's beyond that from in the way that we all have our own lens we see life through. We all have our own lens we receive life through. So that you who came to this life will have what you're willing to receive.
Mhm.
So the question might be is what is it I'm not willing to receive that I've always wanted? That if I truly opened myself up, would have me gifting and receiving in a totally different space.
Ooh, I love it. I love it because that does allow us to make the choice of allowing change,
Yeah.
giving ourselves permission to be who we are in the present moment, as you said earlier, to be able to be in the present moment
Yeah.
and asking the questions. And letting go of the shoulds, have tos, need tos,
Yeah.
and recognizing the bigger picture of what might happen if you push yourself through those have to, need to,
Yeah.
shoulds.
And also on top of that, it's the awareness. And that's a big aha, I think, I would say for all of our clients, is that shoulda, woulda, coulda isn't even yours to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
That was something you were entrained to at a very young age that you bought as real and true in order to just survive with whatever environment you are living in. Again, when you see an animal, or a dog, they pick their nose up, they sniff the air and they go for it. They don't go, should I? Let me just hold on a minute here. I'll just sit on my tail and wonder, should I? What if I could have? what if I would have? No, they're experiential. They're like, I'll have that. And then if it doesn't work out, oh well,
Shake it off.
shake it
Shake it
off.
off.
Shake it off, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yep, the animals have it right. And we're learning and just expanding a little bit more to learn how to shake it off. And that's why dance is so marvelous when you
Yeah.
are dealing with change, right? Is
Movement. We're made to move. We're made out of ball and socket joints. So for myself, I get up in the morning, I deep into my Akashic records, or I'll do meditation. I'll ask, what do my guides have for me today? And I write that down and I go for a walk. Because we are made to move. And when we move, and I love dancing, movement, whatever that is, your chemicals shift and change.
mm,
And they let your body know, okay, new day, let's go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's setting that intention in the morning, I think,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. That's
What do I want today? What is kindness to me today? How do I want to feel today?
yeah. Yeah.
And then, all right, guys, come on in and bring it to me so that I can fulfill my intention, whatever that might be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. How you start your day is how your day begins. You
Yeah.
start it under the covers going like, oh crap, yesterday, the day before, the day before, the day before.
Monday.
Right?
Monday.
Then ask yourself, wow, what agreement did I make to bring in all the crap before I begin my day? Who does that belong to? Where did I learn that from?
Mhm.
Right? What age did I buy into that? Is that's really important to bring the crap in first? And it's kind of cool when you start investigating without going down a rabbit hole, but just like, oh my God, that was my mom or my aunt or my grandmother. That was my teacher or whoever that was. That's not even me. That's not mine. I bought it somewhere as real and true, but it ain't mine.
Yeah, now it's time. Now it's time to let go of that. Give
Yeah,
yourself permission. And sometimes it's okay. It is yours. It's like giving yourself permission if you are not feeling it to get to work as a entrepreneurial leader in my world. Um, if you are working at a job, yes, you have to go to work, but seeing how you can shift the way you look at that.
and that's where the question, what am I aware of here, comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
These are great questions, and these are all in your book.
they are. They're actually, yes, they are all in my book. I wrote Breaking Free so that at the end of each chapter, there's journaling and some questions.
Oh, wonderful.
So that it's really you're taking yourself on your own adventure. Somebody wrote in the reviews that it's like a class. Each chapter is like a class in self-development. I thought, oh, cool. And then yesterday I ran into a store that's carrying my book, and somebody else said, oh, I just read that book. And I said, really? Thank you. I said, did you like it? Yeah, I just got my life coaching degree, and it really was fantastic. It gave me lots of information. I'm like, cool. So you never know when you take that next step, like writing a book or writing a song or whatever it is you're creating, following your knowing, who that's going to create a change with. Again, we are here to create change.
Mm-hmm.
We are the ripples that create the ripples that create the ripples. And until you put yourself out there, you never know what's going to happen.
And first and foremost, make sure it's something that you want to do for yourself and recognize the change that is going to occur in you because you did it, whether anybody else liked it or not.
Exactly. That was my
However,
commitment.
that validation is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That
I,
was my that was my commitment to myself a year ago. I was biking with a friend talking about the book, and I thought, okay, I don't want to hear myself talking about this a year from now. So what am I committing to? And it's just okay, cool. This is interesting. And
let's
that's
make it happen. Why
let's
am
make
I
it,
holding off?
And that again, it's what are you committing to? And then are you willing to honor your commitment to yourself?
Yeah.
Is that a kindness to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love all of that. So actually, where can people get your book?
Oh, Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. Great, great.
Breaking
And
free.
also, I want you to share a little bit about the cover of that book.
Oh, we talked about this earlier. This
Yeah.
cover, I had, I after being in Philadelphia College of Art at the age of 17 or 18, I just started hitchhiking around the world. And I would bring my paints and my notebook with me. And this actually is a painting I did when I was in the desert in Nuweiba in Israel, when it was a recaptured part from Egypt, and Egypt now has it back again. But I was just there by the water in my tent. Bedouin Indians were over there, Bedouins were over there, hippies were over here. It was just a kind of this wonderful cosmic place. And so I just followed the information from my guides, and I painted this picture.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It means so
And
much.
it's always hung in one of the bedrooms in my room, and I looked at it when I was writing this book and talking with the publisher about a cover, and I said, well, I actually have a cover. I created the cover when I was 19.
Oh,
So here I am, 71, with this amazing book, and it's all a confluence. And that's what being in that congruent stream is all about. Knowing that you are connected to everything you've ever been or done, judgment-free zone, and what foundation have you already created for yourself in how you are creating your life and living, and with appreciation and gratitude and honoring that. Because did I know that when I did this when I was 19 that I would be having a book when I was 71? Probably my inner soul did. Right?
there are
See?
no coincidences. There are
No.
no coincidences.
And so that's where the trust comes in congruent living. It's trust. Don't there is no certainty. So when people say, how do I know? Well, you don't. But what do you know now? Does it
But
bring you joy?
that's part of the fun. If we can look at life as a
Yeah.
curiosity
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just say, oh, all right, well, this happened. It may not be all that grand. So how can this be improved? What else can I do? What are the other possibilities? How else can I look at this so that I can feel better about myself, about the situation, about the people around me? What else? It's all about the questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yes. All about the questions.
I
Questions
love,
open windows and doors to possibilities, like you so beautifully just put. Answers close everything up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's a possibility. Let's see
Yeah.
where it leads. Are you open to the possibility?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So, Susan, oh my goodness, I could talk to you forever, but I know we're coming up to the end here. And did I understand that you had a free gift for our listeners?
I do. Susan, go to susanselfcheck.com. Really easy. SusanSelfCheck.com. What I've created is a way for you to check in with yourself. You know, we all have those moments where things just, I don't know what's going on, and I just need a little check-in. And so it's a self-assessment. It's for you, and it takes all of maybe 5 minutes. And you'll kind of check in to see, oh, I didn't realize that I wasn't listening to myself, or wow, that's really good for me, because now I realize I am moving forward with what I've asked to create, whatever that is for you. Yeah, come on over to susanselfcheck.com and find out where you are in your life and see what's working for you. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that. What a
yeah.
wonderful gift to have. And is that the best way for people to get in touch with you as well? Or just get your book on Amazon, Breaking Free on Amazon, and susanselfcheck.com for opening up to possibility of what might be going on with you, why you're not feeling
Yeah.
as cool as you might. And is there any other way that somebody could get in touch with you?
Well, you can just come on over to my website, susanlasarhart.com. Easy peasy. And I think if you go to susanselfcheck.com, that's a page inside my website. So you'll find me as well. And you can contact me anytime right through there. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Susan, thank you so, so much for all of your wisdom and your sharing. And I can't wait to connect some more with you so
We
that we
will
can make
definitely for sure. Yeah. Thank you so
create
much for having me. Yeah.
you create that ripple in the world that will make a huge difference.
Thank you so much. As do you, my friend, as do you.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now. And
Bye.
until next time, everybody, be awesome.